share your feedback about your experience teaching English in China. Hope you're doing great. And so we are gonna shoot off right now. My first question would be, how did you decide to come to China and teach English? What made you decide?
Well, I had a few jobs back in England, but I wanted something that wanted to, push me out of my comfort zone and, get me into like experiencing a different culture, in a completely different country. That is something that I wanted to do. And, I've always had that like a traveling kind of mindset. I've been traveling before. So having this opportunity to both travel and learn such a wealth of different experience with like teaching is something that I was really on board with, definitely.
And why exactly China then? Because there are plenty of places where you can teach English as a second language. So why did you choose China?
Yeah, after I traveled different Asian countries in the past. I've been to like Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia, the places that I've been to.
Wow.
So China's always been on like very high up on my list, not only of Asian countries, but also like countries in the world. And when I saw this opportunity to come out here and start this like fantastic experience, especially in China, there's so much that I wanted to learn coming physically to this country, and this was the perfect opportunity that I saw.
Great. And how did you decide to come with work and live in China? Obviously, you were choosing among maybe some other companies. You were considering your options and how it all works. So how did you end up with work and live in China?
Even from like the get-go, once I sent off, once I had some interest in it, I saw the advertisement, then I followed it up. They were a lot quicker, getting back to me, and they explained the different steps and that they wanted, the different steps to go through. And I found that they were the most helpful, and definitely they put my mind at ease a lot, because I love traveling, but this obviously, there was that thought in the back of my mind that was like, okay, this is something different. You want to make sure that you're going to be helped every step of the way. And Work and Live in China were the company that it did exactly that.
Okay. And can you tell us about your first week in China? Well, obviously not your first day in Asia, but anyway, China is different from all other countries. So what, maybe something unusual happened, and generally about your first week there?
Well, even down to my first impression, or when I first came to China, the airport was very organized. I felt with the whole the fingerprint scanners and everything. It seemed very regimented in their process on getting through customs and everything like that, and which was what I expect from any kind of airport. But this was extra secure. And then after I got my baggage and then got into the taxi, it kind of it went a bit different, because I kind of a little bit expected this, but then when I was in the taxi, and when you're in a car and driving around the streets, even in the taxi, you see that people just do their own thing. So I was like, okay, I've gone from really regimented in the airport to a bit am I this is a red light? Should he really go? And then the taxi driver just goes. So I was like, okay. So it's kind of it's kind of that contrast. But that was a little bit to be expected, but it was just still it's fun to see the both two contrasts in the sides to it. But it was that was pretty interesting to see on my first day. So kind of okay, this is how we drive, and if you're going to be here for this long, then you're going to have to get used to it.
Do you drive in China by yourself right now, or no?
No. I have English driving license, but I mean, taxis are like relatively cheap here. There's always like the public bikes, the ones that you can
Hmm.
like you pay and then you can just rent. Or I just walk, like go out for walks to go places anyway.
Oh, I see. Great. And what were your first impressions when you arrived to Beijing? I mean, about the city, about the people there?
Yeah, I mean, the city has, uh, I found that has so many different parts to it. I mean, the part that I went to, it wasn't as busy, like as crowded as I thought it would be. I think it was a bit more outside of the city. So it's obviously made me think that in my head, I was thinking, oh, Beijing's going to be like massively busy. But when I got there, it wasn't. I could just take a relaxing walk like around, and it wasn't actually as busy as I thought it was. But it was quite nice to see. But I knew that going 30 minutes or an hour towards the city, it would be
Mhm.
complete different. Yeah.
And where you teach right now, how are the people? I mean, how do you communicate? How do they treat you? And is there any cultural difference, you'd say, from where you are and in China?
I mean, the colleagues that I work with, they're obviously been in an English teaching school. Their English is good. We've been able to communicate that way.
Hmm.
But they know that obviously their communication, maybe speaking English, isn't as good. But obviously that's what I'm there for. I'm not. I see myself as not only there to teach kids English, but I can also help
I
my
see.
colleagues that I'm working with. But they were so friendly even after. So I got the high speed train from Beijing over to Xi'an, and as soon as I got off, there was the teacher, one of the teachers waiting there for me.
Hmm.
I had a sign with my name, and she was jumping up and down when she saw me. So I was like, like I think I've come to the right place. Yeah, it made me feel really welcome.
I see. Great. And how's your apartment? Can you describe it a little bit and how do you find it?
Yeah, my apartment is good. It's like I've really started to get used to it. In those first few weeks, I tried to make it more into like a homely environment. So
Hmm.
even if people come over, or I just want that little sense of home when I enter through the door. Um, once you come in through the front door, there's a few steps down into the main living area, which where I am now. There's a kitchen just down the corner. There's like my washing machine and my fridge. I've got my I've got my setup here as well. I've got like my projector onto so I can play PlayStation, watch movies or something like that. And upstairs is where my bed, like my bed is. I've got my wardrobes in there. There's a lot of storage space as well. And bathroom's just on the entrance. So it's two floors. It's all like open plan.
And it's a
But I
single
mean, I
apartment,
like
right?
yes, yeah. So it's just me here. So it's a single apartment. So I like how I have this much space, and I can make it like how I want as well, and it makes me feel really comfortable.
Great. And can you how have you got with the Chinese language so far? Did you learn anything, or how do you find it? Is it difficult?
I have learnt quite a bit so far. I mean, it's still in the early months, so I'm still learning. I mean, I've got a book by my desk, so that I look at. I practice writing, I practice
Hmm.
reading, and I'm learning to speak all at the same time, even just from the book, from the people, like from my teachers. They
Hmm.
help me. I hear the words on the street. I mean, even if I don't know what they're saying, at least I can listen to how they say it. So that kind of helps me like learn a bit easier as well. But I think I'm starting to learn more and more, and it starts like once I maybe say a sentence to someone, then I have that feeling where I was like, oh, they understood me, so I want to learn more and more, so I can have conversations with people.
And do you have any apps on your smartphone that you've specially installed to help you during the day? Anything that you would recommend to those who are going to come to China?
Yes, the biggest app, probably one that rules most, is WeChat. So they use it to as like a messenger. They use it as like a social network site.
Mhm.
You can post photos like statuses. You use it to pay for a lot of things. You can get flights, train
Mhm.
tickets, cinema tickets, like anything like that. And it's really secure, and it's a great. I mean, I use it every single day. There isn't a
Mhm.
moment that I don't really use it. A few other apps are what else do I have? I have some language learning apps. There's Didi as well, which is good for. It's like Uber in
Mhm.
Western countries. So they would have Didi over here, which is useful if you have the address and there's places that
I
you
see.
just put in the address and they come pick you up, and then you go there, and then like there's some maps as well. It's called a map,
Mhm.
which you can pinpoint different places that you've been, and then you can be like, oh, I was there today, or you can make a little note, and it's got I think it's got some English language and Chinese in there as
Mhm.
well. So all of that has been super useful in terms of getting in and around. And also
Yes.
another one is like a yellow kangaroo app. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a food ordering. You can
Uh-huh.
order takeout, drinks, anything from the supermarket. So that's been really useful to use as well.
Nice. And well, the last question I have is, what do you do out of classes when you have free time? What do you enjoy to do in your city?
Wow, the food here has been far better than what I expected. So I like to go out and try different foods, even just on the street. Street food is massive out here, and it's a lot of the time it is really well cooked, and it does taste really nice. All the different flavors of the Shanxi province, which is where Xi'an is, and other than that, I go out. I've made quite a lot of foreigner friends here. So we go to different bars, explore different parts of China, and we've got like a little friendship group that we do different things with, and also like there's also some Chinese teachers that have like part of our group as well. So we're all doing a lot of stuff together, and
Mm-hmm.
most even when weekdays or weekends, we always go out. But that's more the social side of things. But if I'm at home, I like to maybe play on my PlayStation or watch some movies, just kind of have some downtime to relax.
I see. Great. Well, Ryan, thank you for sharing your experience about teaching in China. That's great to hear you enjoy there a lot. And thank you for working with us. We hope
That's
everything
okay.
went smoothly and good for you. Well, do you have any questions to me so far?
No, I mean, I just want to say how much, obviously, the company like Work and Live in China has helped me. I've felt a lot more comfortable coming with them, and coming over here has just really put me at ease. And I may have felt like that was a bit difficult in the first maybe a
Mm-hmm.
week or so, but other than that, I really got into the stride of things, and they've really helped me out here. So yeah, I do thank them a lot. But no questions other than that.
Okay, great. Thank you.